shake your booties for black girl nerve.
Emma, everyone wants to know who Dottie is.
Me too.
Dottie made a big splash, and we're all just kind of watching and waiting to see what's going to happen with her. I don't know how much of the social media theorizing and conspiracy theories that you tune in, but do you watch a lot of it? And what do you think of some of the theories you've seen so far?
Well, I don't, it's weird because I don't really want to read anything about me because I just, I can't, like, if someone's mean, like, I don't want to hear you be mean. I just cannot. But at the same time, I can't not look. So it's like, this is fine line, and then whether I want to or not, someone will send me an article of like, hey, did you see this? And I'm like, I was trying to avoid it, and now let me read all about it. And I find it all so fun and cool, and even my friends are like, well, is it true? And I'm like, I cannot talk. I can't say anything. It could be, it could not be. That's where I'm at. Like I'm along for this fun ride, and I'm just so happy I got to be a part of the show and to be a part of Marvel in general. Just an honor.
It's really cool just to see what the show is like compared to the other aspects of the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see just so many interesting concepts and flashbacks and black and white, different costuming, different aspects of people's personality. And one of the
Yeah.
common theme I've noticed with people watching is everyone's trying to figure out who are the bad guys. Is this the bad guy? Is this the
Mm-hmm.
big bad guy, the little
Mm-hmm.
bad guy? Where do all
Mm-hmm.
these other people fit into that? But no one really speculates who's the good guy. Maybe these are the helpful people in
Yeah.
disguise who are supposed to further along the agenda. Is it as simple as black and white, good and bad when it comes to these characters and the journey they're going to have throughout the season?
That's a really good question. Uh, I don't think anything is black and white now. No, I think there are many layers to. There's just a lot of layers to the show. There's a lot of tonal shift. There's a lot happening. It's a big hat trick. Um, and I think Jack and Matt and everyone involved in the team just did a miraculous job keeping everything together and keeping everybody on the same page as well. Particularly because a lot of the actors who were working had no idea what was going on. They weren't allowed to see scripts or see anything. So you have all this information, and just as a performer, you know it's hard. That's hard. Like you try to like go, well, that's not quite right, or what little tidbits can you do to kind of like help like I was very I'm yeah. Just realizing I'm gonna start talking to myself into some corner I can't get out of. So
I won't even
I'm
do
just
you
gonna
like
I'm just gonna stop right now. This is what I've been dealing with since October of 2019. Like, I said too much. Just gotta stop
I
talking.
believe it. It's tough. It's tough. Even especially when there's such specific source material for
Hmm.
it and people are just trying to connect all the dots and everything. But what I will ask you about is that, so I won't trip you up, is what's been fascinating to me with your colleagues on the show is the things that are happening in the episodes we've seen before, like that there's a real audience with real laugh tracks, and how
Hmm.
the plate scenes have been done with real wires and things. So
Hmm.
how has that been that for you as a performer to kind of do these old ways of comedy and cadence and performance, like that we saw in some of these older, more vintage shows compared to say projects you've done that are set in the common time?
Well, I'll say one thing. I do remember at the first table read we did for episode 2, and that was the first time I had any real understanding of what was going on, because I only knew a little when Jack had asked me if I wanted to become involved with the show, and of course I said yes. But Kevin hadn't approved me yet. So once he did, then because I was just like, I don't understand. What do you want me to do? Like, 'cause I just need you to go and do this for Kevin Feige. but I can't tell you really anything. I just need you to look kind of period. I just banged the hell out of my knee, by the way, in case you heard what that sound was. That is me trying really hard not to cry right now. Oh my God, that really hurt.
It's your publicist on your desk saying, don't say that. Don't answer that.
That really hurt. Oh God. No, it's okay. That's going to bruise real bad. It's okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Something fascinating, I'm sure. Anyway, blah, 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 table read. And we were going over Bewitched and, you know, the templates and the actual, you know, they're like, well, this is going to be shot at the actual, you know, house Bewitched and Dick Van Dyke and whatever. And my question, you know, what was tricky for me to make sure I understood was I have like my dialogue right now on this particularly is funny. I think it's very funny. And then there's what I need to make sure I do so that it's funny for people watching WandaVision, right? People tuning in Disney Plus to be like, oh, okay, so I need to do my job for you. But when we're doing the sitcom, back then, was it considered funny? Because I'm watching it with these modern eyes and I'm thinking this is the most unfunny thing I don't think it's funny. I'm not laughing at all. So am I supposed to be funny in this non-funny way? Or do you want me to be genuinely funny, but keep the vibe of the old 60s sitcom, you know? And then once I got my answer, I was like, okay, great. Then I can now move forward and then focus on the technical aspects and get the voice right and the way she sits and the weird, you know, the sort of, not this, I don't know what this is, but you know, she was very sort of la la, you know, about everything. And that was like my knee is throbbing. I can't even, I'm trying, I don't know. I feel like I'm on Hot Ones. You know that show Hot Ones where they eat spicy wings and try to talk?
I always wanted to try that.
Me too. I love spicy food though.
It just looks so cool to see you ladies in the vintage costumes and just
it's so lovely.
I'm kind of in that, you know, in between age where I can remember those old shows. So it's so funny to see you all acting and it's so almost like so over the top and you know, and doing all of that at the camera. And you think nobody would do that in this day and age, but it really furthers the vehicle of the story because it's cool because we're kind of shifting through all these decades as part of what Wanda's experience is. So it makes it all that more interesting. So before we wrap up, we're in 3 episodes in. As you look back at as the first 3 episodes that have aired, what have been some of your favorite moments, even ones that you weren't in, that you've seen in the first 3?
Seeing the first 3. Really, like anytime Catherine spoke was my favorite. The sort of the development of for the children. I mean, that's a line that was in there, but again, crediting Catherine Hahn for, you know, while we were getting that scene on its fate, she's like, it's very, you know, sounds very cultish, you know, like we're all being we're all mesmerized, we're all like hypnotized for the children, you know, like it's like for the children, you know, and it just got so deep, like throttle and literally like you're being brainwashed, you know, and that was all her. And it, you know, it stayed through, you know, on and on, but like, that was, like, she just made me laugh. It was very hard to keep a straight face, even when I was, you know, like if you know, on her coverage or whatever, and watching her do what she does and just bringing all that life. She's just a genius. And I think that's, I mean, everybody is so incredibly good. Lizzie just shreds it, Paul, like everybody. But Catherine Hahn, just, I can't say enough about her. I'm so in awe of her ability.
She's killing it. When I heard For the Children, I almost wanted to say, is it for Wu-Tang? But it's not. Not that era.
Not that era.
Thank you, Emma, so much. Take care of your knee.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I'm loving this show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.